silence. It's a powerful tool, yet so often overlooked. In our fast-paced world where words fly at the speed of thought, we've forgotten the art of listening. But here's the truth. Your success, your relationships, and your very understanding of the world hinge on your ability to listen more than you speak. Think about it. Every great leader, every successful person you admire, they all have one thing in common. They know when to be quiet and listen. They understand that true wisdom comes not from constantly voicing their opinions, but from absorbing the knowledge, experiences, and insights of others. You see, when you speak, you're only repeating what you already know. But when you listen, you open yourself up to a world of new ideas, perspectives, and opportunities. It's like turning on a faucet of knowledge, and all you have to do is be quiet enough to let it flow. Now, I'm not saying you should never speak. Of course not. Your voice, your ideas, they matter. But think of your words as precious gems. The rarer they are, the more valuable they become. When you choose your moments to speak wisely, people will lean in to hear what you have to say. But listening, truly listening, is an art. It's not just about being quiet while someone else talks. It's about being present, engaged, and genuinely interested in what they're saying. It's about turning off that inner voice that's always ready with a response, and instead focusing entirely on the person in front of you. When you master this art, amazing things start to happen. You'll find that people are drawn to you. They'll trust you more, confide in you more. Why? Because everyone craves to be heard, to be understood. And when you give them that gift, you become invaluable to them. In business, the skill is worth its weight in gold. Imagine being in a negotiation where you can truly understand the other person's needs and motivations. You're not just waiting for your turn to speak, you're actively listening, picking up on subtle cues, reading between the lines. That's how deals are made, how businesses thrive. But it goes beyond just business. In your personal relationships, being a good listener can transform everything. How many arguments could be avoided if we just took the time to really listen to our partners, our friends, our children? How much stronger could our bonds become if we stopped trying to be right all the time and instead tried to understand? Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm already a good listener, and maybe you are. But I challenge you to take it further. Next time you're in a conversation, pay attention to your habits. Are you really listening, or are you just waiting for your turn to speak? Are you formulating your response while the other person is still talking? If so, you're missing out on so much. In your next conversation, make it your goal to learn something new. Approach it with curiosity, with a genuine desire to understand the other person's perspective. Ask questions, not to challenge, but to clarify. You'll be amazed at how much you can learn when you're not focused on what you're going to say next. Here's a little secret. The more you listen, the more interesting you become. It might sound counterintuitive, but it's true. People love talking about themselves, their ideas, their experiences. When you give them that opportunity, when you show genuine interest, they'll walk away thinking you're the most fascinating person they've ever met, all because you listened. But listening isn't just about other people. It's also about listening to yourself. In our noisy world, we've lost touch with our inner voice. We're so busy talking, posting, tweeting, that we've forgotten how to be still and listen to our own thoughts, our own intuition. Take a moment right now. Close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath. What do you hear? Not just the sounds around you, but the whispers of your own mind. What is it telling you? What dreams? What fears, what ideas are bubbling up when you give them space to surface? This internal listening is just as crucial as listening to others. It's how you stay true to yourself, how you make decisions that align with your values and your goals. It's how you tap into your creativity, your intuition, your inner wisdom. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. In our world of constant noise and distraction, learning to listen, really listen, can feel like swimming against the current. But like any skill, it gets easier with practice. And the rewards are measurable. Start small. In your next conversation, challenge yourself to listen more than you speak. Ask questions. Show genuine interest. See how it changes the dynamic. Notice how the other person responds when they feel truly heard. And don't just limit this to face-to-face conversations. Apply it to everything. When you're watching the news, resist the urge to immediately react. Instead, listen. Try to understand different perspectives, even ones you disagree with. When you're reading a book, don't just skim for information. Listen to the author's voice, their ideas, their experiences. As you practice this, you'll start to notice changes. You'll find yourself more informed, more empathetic, more connected to the world around you. You'll make better decisions because you'll have more information to work with. You'll build stronger relationships because people will feel valued and understood when they're around you. And here's the beautiful thing. The more you listen, the more people will want to listen to you. When you do speak, your words will carry weight. People will know that when you talk, it's because you have something valuable to say. The people you respect most in your life, chances are they're good listeners. They're the ones who make you feel heard, who ask insightful questions, who seem to understand you on a deeper level. That's the kind of person you can become when you master the art of listening. But remember, this isn't about being passive or letting others walk all over you. It's about being strategic with your words and generous with your attention. It's about understanding that in many situations, listening is the most powerful thing you can do. Imagine a world where everyone listened more than they spoke. A world where we sought first to understand, then to be understood. How many conflicts could be resolved? How many innovations could be born from the collision of different ideas? How much richer would our lives be if we truly heard and understood each other? You have the power to start that change right here, right now. With every conversation, every interaction, you have the opportunity to listen, to learn, to grow. It's a simple shift, but its impact can be profound. So I challenge you, for the next week, make a conscious effort to listen more than you speak. In every conversation, aim to learn something new. Ask questions. Show genuine interest. Be fully present. And at the end of the week, reflect on what you've learned, how your relationships have changed how you feel. You might be surprised at what you discover. You might find that by saying less, you've gained more. More knowledge, more understanding, more connection. You might find that the quieter you become, the more you can hear. And in that hearing, you'll find wisdom opportunity and a deeper connection to the world around you. Remember, the most influential people in history weren't always the loudest. They were often the ones who knew when to be quiet, when to listen, and when to speak with purpose and conviction. You have that same potential within you. Every day, you have countless opportunities to listen. To your family, your friends, your colleagues, to the world around you, to your own inner voice. Don't let these opportunities slip by. Embrace them. Cherish them. Use them to grow. To learn to become the best version of yourself. As you go through your day, pay attention to the balance between talking and listening. Are you dominating conversations, or are you creating space for others to share? Are you quick to offer your opinion, or are you taking the time to understand different perspectives? Are you multitasking while others are speaking, or are you giving your full undivided attention? These small habits, these daily choices, they add up. They shape who you are, how others perceive you, and ultimately, the impact you have on the world. By choosing to listen more, you're choosing to be more thoughtful, more empathetic, more effective in everything you do. Something to consider. Listening isn't just about words, it's about being attuned to everything around you. The tone of someone's voice, their body language, the things they're not saying. When you truly listen, you pick up on all of these subtle cues. You become more perceptive, more intuitive. You start to understand people on a deeper level. This skill is invaluable in every area of life. In your career, it can help you anticipate needs, solve problems more effectively, and build stronger relationships with colleagues and clients. In your personal life, it can help you be a better friend, partner, parent. It can help you navigate conflicts with grace and understanding. But perhaps most importantly, being a good listener can help you lead a more fulfilling life. When you listen more than you speak, you open yourself up to new experiences, new ideas, new ways of thinking. You become more open-minded, more adaptable, more growth-oriented. You're constantly learning, constantly evolving. Last time someone really listened to you, not just heard your words, but truly listened. How did it make you feel? Valued, understood, important? That's the gift you can give to others when you choose to listen. And in doing so, you're not just improving their lives, you're enriching your own. Now I know what some of you might be thinking, but I have important things to say. If I'm always listening, how will I get my point across? And that's a valid concern. But here's the thing. When you listen more, your words become more powerful. Because you're not just speaking to hear your own voice, you're speaking with purpose, with understanding, with insight. Think of it like this. Every conversation is an opportunity to learn something new. Even if you're an expert in your field, even if you've been doing something for years, there's always a new perspective to gain, a new insight to glean. When you approach conversations with this mindset, you'll find that you're constantly growing, constantly improving. And let's talk about the impact this can have on your decision-making. When you listen more than you speak, you gather more information. You hear different perspectives. You understand the nuances of a situation. This allows you to make more informed, more thoughtful decisions. You're not just reacting based on your own limited perspective, you're taking into account a wealth of information and insights. This is particularly crucial in leadership roles. The best leaders aren't the ones who talk the most. They're the ones who listen the most. They create an environment where everyone feels heard, where diverse opinions are valued. They make decisions based not just on their own ideas, but on a deep understanding of their team, their customers, their market. But even if you're not in a formal leadership role, this principle applies in any group setting, whether it's a family dinner, a friend gathering, or a work meeting. You can lead by listening. You can be the one who draws out others' ideas, who creates space for different voices to be heard. This kind of leadership isn't about position or title. It's about influence, and influence comes from understanding, which comes from listening. I want to address something important. But listening more doesn't mean being passive or letting others walk all over you. It's not about suppressing your own thoughts or ideas. It's about finding the right balance, about knowing when to listen and when to speak. There will be times when it's important for you to share your perspective, to stand up for what you believe in, to make your voice heard. But when you do speak, your words will carry more weight because they're coming from a place of understanding. You're not just talking for the sake of talking. You're contributing something valuable to the conversation. Here's a powerful truth. The more you listen, the more people will want to listen to you. When you show genuine interest in others, when you make them feel heard and understood, they'll be more inclined to return the favor. You'll build a reputation as someone who's thoughtful, insightful, worth listening to. This principle extends beyond just one-on-one conversations. In our digital age, we're constantly bombarded with information, opinions, and noise. It's easy to fall into the trap of always broadcasting, always sharing our thoughts on social media, always trying to make our voice heard above the din. But what if we approached our digital interactions with the same listen-first mentality? What if, instead of immediately reacting to every post or news article, we took the time to really understand different perspectives? What if we asked questions instead of making assumptions? What if we sought to learn rather than to prove ourselves right? This doesn't mean you should never share your thoughts online, but it does mean being more intentional about it. Before you post, ask yourself, am I contributing something valuable to the conversation? Am I coming from a place of understanding, or am I just reacting? This mindful approach can lead to more meaningful, more productive online interactions. The impact of listening on your personal growth. When you listen more than you speak, you're constantly learning. You're exposing yourself to new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of thinking. This continuous learning keeps your mind sharp, keeps you adaptable in a rapidly changing world. But it's not just about intellectual growth. Listening more can also lead to tremendous emotional and spiritual growth. It can help you develop greater empathy, greater compassion, a deeper understanding of the human experience. It can help you connect with others on a deeper level, fostering more meaningful relationships. Here's something profound to consider. Listening isn't just about what you hear with your ears. It's about being attuned to the world around you. It's about noticing the subtle changes in your environment, picking up on the unspoken cues in a room, sensing the energy of a situation. This kind of holistic listening can make you more intuitive, more perceptive. It can help you navigate complex social situations with grace. It can give you a competitive edge in business. It can help you be a better friend, partner, parent. But perhaps most importantly, this kind of deep listening can help you live a more present, more mindful life. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the chaos, to always be thinking about what's next. But when you truly listen to others, to your environment, to your own inner voice, you ground yourself in the present moment. You become more aware, more alive. Now, I want to address a common misconception. Some people think being a good listener means never disagreeing, never challenging others' ideas. But that's not true at all. In fact, the best listeners are often the ones who ask the most insightful, thought-provoking questions. When you really listen, you're able to engage with ideas on a deeper level. You can ask questions that get to the heart of the matter. You can challenge assumptions in a respectful, constructive way. This kind of engaged listening leads to richer conversations, more innovative ideas, and better. So as you practice listening more, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to respectfully challenge ideas. But do it from a place of genuine curiosity and desire to understand, not from a place of wanting to prove yourself right. The impact of listening on your success. In any field, the ability to truly listen is a huge asset. It helps you understand market trends, customer needs, team dynamics. It helps you spot opportunities that others might miss. It helps you build strong, lasting relationships. The most successful people you know, chances are they're excellent listeners. They're the ones who make you feel heard and understood when you talk to them. They're the ones who ask insightful questions, who seem to have a deep understanding of complex situations. That's not a coincidence. It's a direct result of their ability to listen. But success isn't just about professional achievement. It's about living a fulfilling, meaningful life. And listening plays a crucial role in that too. When you listen more than you speak, you're more likely to have deep, meaningful relationships. You're more likely to make a positive impact on others. You're more likely to feel connected to the world around you. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge. For the next week, make a conscious effort to listen more than you speak in every interaction. Whether you're at work, at home, with friends, or even online, focus on understanding before being understood. Pay attention to how this shifts your interactions. Notice how people respond to you differently. Notice how much you learn, how your perspective broadens. Notice how it affects your decision-making, your relationships, your overall sense of well-being. At the end of the week, reflect on your experience. What did you learn? How did it change your interactions? How did it make you feel? I think you'll be amazed at the impact this simple shift can have. Remember, becoming a better listener is a lifelong journey. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every time you choose to listen more than you speak, you're growing. You're becoming a better version of yourself. You're making the world a little bit better. So go forth and listen. Listen to understand, not to respond. Listen with your ears, your eyes, your heart. Listen to others. Listen to your environment. Listen to your inner voice. In that listening, you'll find wisdom, connection, and a richer, more fulfilling life. You'll find that the world opens up to you in ways you never imagined. As you practice this art of listening, you'll start to notice subtle changes in your daily life. The way you interact with your family might shift. Instead of half listening while planning your next task, you'll find yourself fully present, catching nuances in your child's story that you might have missed before. You'll pick up on the underlying concern in your partner's voice when they talk about their day, allowing you to offer support they didn't even know they needed. At work, you'll find your effectiveness multiplying. When you truly listen to your colleagues, you'll catch innovative ideas that might otherwise have been lost in the noise. You'll sense team dynamics that were previously invisible to you, allowing you to navigate office politics with newfound grace. Clients will feel more valued, leading to stronger relationships and better outcomes. But it's not just about the external benefits. As you cultivate this habit of listening, you will notice changes within yourself. Your mind will become calmer, less cluttered with the constant chatter of your own thoughts. You'll find moments of peace in the simple act of listening to the world around you. The rustle of leaves in the wind, the distant hum of city life, the rhythm of your own breath. This internal quiet opens up space for creativity to flourish. When you're not constantly filling the air with your own voice, you create room for new ideas to bubble up. You might find solutions to problems that have been puzzling you for months. You might stumble upon a brilliant business idea or a new perspective on a personal challenge. Remember, listening is not a passive act. It's an active, engaged process that requires your full attention and energy. It's about being fully present in each moment, absorbing not just the words being spoken, but the emotions behind them, the context surrounding them. As you hone this skill, you'll find that you're developing a kind of superpower. You'll start to pick up on things that others miss. You'll notice the slight hesitation in someone's voice that indicates they're not fully convinced by their own argument. You'll sense the excitement bubbling just beneath the surface when someone talks about their passion project. You'll feel the unspoken tension in a room before anyone else realizes it's there. This heightened awareness will serve you well in all areas of life. In negotiations, you'll have an edge because you'll understand the other party's true needs and motivations. In relationships, you'll be able to offer support and understanding at a deeper level. In your personal growth, you'll be more attuned to your own needs and desires, leading to better decision-making and a more authentic life. But here's the real magic. As you become a better listener, you become a catalyst for positive change in your environment. People around you will start to feel more heard, more understood, more valued. This can have a ripple effect, inspiring others to listen more deeply as well. Imagine the transformation that could occur in your family, your workplace, your community if everyone practiced this kind of deep, engaged listening. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but I'm an introvert. I already don't talk much. Doesn't that mean I'm a good listener? Not necessarily. Being quiet is not the same as being a good listener. True listening is about quality, not quantity. It's about how deeply you engage when others are speaking, how present you are in each moment. For introverts, the challenge might be to engage more actively in conversations, to ask thoughtful questions, to show that you're truly listening. For extroverts, the challenge might be to rein in the impulse to fill every silence, to give others space to express themselves fully. Regardless of your natural tendencies, becoming a better listener is a skill that anyone can develop with practice. Start small. In your next conversation, challenge yourself to ask at least 3 thoughtful questions before sharing your own opinion. Pay attention to your body language. Are you facing the speaker, making eye contact, nodding to show you're engaged? These small physical cues can make a big difference in how deeply you listen and how comfortable others feel sharing with you. As you practice, you might find it helpful to think of listening as a form of meditation. Just as in meditation, you focus on your breath. In active listening, you focus on the speaker. When your mind starts to wander, it will. We're all human. Gently bring your attention back to the person speaking. This takes practice, but over time it becomes more natural. One powerful technique to enhance your listening skills is to practice reflective listening. This involves paraphrasing what the other person has said to ensure you've understood correctly. It might sound something like, "So what I'm hearing is," or it sounds like you're saying. This not only helps you stay focused and ensure you're understanding correctly, but it also shows the speaker that you're truly engaged with what they're saying. Another technique to deepen your listening is to pay attention to the emotions behind the words. Often what people are feeling is just as important as what they're saying. Are they excited, worried, frustrated? By tuning into these emotional undercurrents, you can respond in a way that addresses not just the content of what they're saying, but the feelings behind it. As you develop these skills, you might find that your conversations become richer, more meaningful. You might discover depths in people that you never knew existed. You might form connections that are stronger and more authentic than any you've experienced before. But remember, becoming a great listener doesn't mean you never speak. It's about finding the right balance, about knowing when to listen and when to contribute. When you do speak, your words will carry more weight because they're coming from a place of deep understanding. In fact, you might find that as you listen more, your own communication skills improve. You'll have a better sense of when to speak, what to say, and how to say it for maximum impact. Your words will be more thoughtful, more relevant, more powerful. This balance of listening and speaking is particularly crucial in leadership roles. The best leaders are often the best listeners. They create an environment where everyone feels heard, where diverse opinions are valued. They make decisions based not just on their own ideas, but on a deep understanding of their team, their customers, their market. But even if you're not in a formal leadership position, these skills can help you become a leader in your own sphere of influence. Whether it's in your family, your friend group, or your community, being a good listener can make you someone that others look to for guidance and support. As you continue on this journey of becoming a better listener, be patient with yourself. Like any skill, it takes time and practice to master. There will be days when you fall back into old habits, when you find yourself talking more than listening. That's okay. The important thing is to notice when this happens and gently guide yourself back to a listening mindset. Remember, too, that listening isn't just about other people. It's also about listening to yourself. In our busy lives, it's easy to lose touch with our own thoughts and feelings. Make time each day to listen to your inner voice. This might be through meditation, journaling, or simply taking a quiet walk. As you get better at listening to others, you might find that you become better at listening to yourself as well. This inner listening can be transformative. It can help you stay true to your values, make decisions that align with your goals, and live a more authentic life. It can help you tap into your creativity, your intuition, your inner wisdom. As you move forward, carrying this message with you, I want you to remember one crucial thing. Listening is an act of love. When you truly listen to someone, you're giving them one of the most precious gifts There is your full, undivided attention. You're saying, without words, you matter. Your thoughts matter. Your feelings matter. In a world that often feels disconnected, where many people feel unheard and unseen, your willingness to listen can be a powerful force for good. It can heal rifts, build bridges, and create understanding where there was once conflict. So I challenge you to go forth and become a master listener. Make it your mission to understand before being understood. Approach each conversation, each interaction, as an opportunity to learn something new. Be curious, be open, be present. And as you do this, watch how your world transforms. Watch how your relationships deepen, how your understanding broadens, how your impact grows. Watch how you become a force for positive change in your family, your workplace, your community. Remember, every great movement, every positive change in the world started with someone who was willing to listen, someone who was willing to set aside their own preconceptions and truly hear what others were saying. Someone who is willing to connect, to understand, to empathize. You can be that person. You have that power within you. Every time you choose to listen more than you speak, you're making the world a little bit better. You're creating space for understanding, for growth, for positive change. So listen. Listen deeply. Listen with your whole being. Listen to understand, not to respond. Listen with your ears, your eyes, your heart. Listen to others. Listen to your environment. Listen to your inner voice. In that listening, you'll find wisdom beyond measure. You'll find connections that enrich your life in ways you never imagined. You'll find a path to a more fulfilling, more meaningful existence. And who knows, the next time you listen, really listen. You might just hear something that changes everything. You might hear an idea that sparks a revolution, a story that opens your heart, a truth that transforms your world. So go forth and listen. The world is speaking. Are you ready to hear?